I'm fine. Mine, you were saying you have a stag do on.
Yes.
I got added into a group chat about a week ago. My brother goes, "Here, I'm going to add you into this group chat about organising the stag." I was like, "Oh, well, it's my brother. It has to be done. You know, this is."
Your brother's stag?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I was like, if I was going to organise one more stag in my life, it was going to be my brother's. You know.
And I won't just organise one more stag.
And I probably won't. I'll organise loads. No, I think I'm aging out of that now.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they start wanting me to organise christening piss-ups, I could do that. But I got added anyway, and it was me and 3 of his closest mates or whatever, and lads are floating ideas around. First idea was Ibiza.
Oh,
like, no. I was like, please, no. I was like, please, no.
a full week at 120 BPM.
Yeah. Actually, this will give me impetus to get it organised. Actually, because I don't want this to go out and us having not organised it and then having to hear all this. So Ibiza was one, Kerry was one, Amsterdam.
Kerry?
Yeah.
Ibiza or Kerry? Tomato. Like.
Well, it hasn't been decided yet, but they're now fucking talking about Portugal, and I'm like, lads, are you trying?
Ibiza or Kerry? I've whiplash.
No. I was like, I'll go. Kerry sounds good. Amsterdam's not that far away.
Yeah, I can see why he might veer. I can see why he might veer towards Amsterdam.
I know that. I know my brother would enjoy Amsterdam as well. You see. I also floated Barcelona for similar reasons.
Yes.
But
it just starts with a fucking short list. Where's weed legal? And we work backwards from there.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Once again, Nathan, bang to rights. Am I so predictable?
Portugal, Amsterdam, or Kerry.
We're talking. Well, not there. There's chat about Portugal now, but I was just like, oh god, that'll like. There's talk about Portugal, right? And then I was like, is it just us, like 5 and him going? I was like, that maybe is manageable enough. They're like, no, we're just in charge of organising it. There's
28 lads.
28 lads, including the father of the groom, or father of the bride.
That adds a spanner into the
Well, no, from all accounts, he's up for a good time.
Right. Okay. Fucking can't wait.
I would say more.
I'm gonna smoke so much hash.
I would say more so than me. I would say he's probably would be able to go the distance.
You've probably been on more stags in the last 2 years than that man's been
I'm
on
a journeyman, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, but I'm coming. I feel like a footballer coming to the end of his career. I need to be at a mid-level club now. I'm not.
Yeah.
You know.
I tell you, man, if you're ever involved in any conversation of the plan of my stag, literally all I want to do is just have a pint in a quiet bar.
I can do that. We could do that right now. Let's go. Let's sack this off.
Can we? I don't know if a quiet bar exists.
But I'm dreading it because it's 28 lads who I don't really know is a lot.
Look forward to not being allowed in anywhere.
Yeah.
Maybe Ibiza would be the best shout for you, because it's the only place I can imagine where you realistically they're going to let a group of 28.
I can't. There's no way 28 lads are going to be able to make it. On top of this, there's chat of like a joint kind of hen stag do sten at home before the wedding.
Right.
One of the lads said that, and I was like, "Is that not just what the wedding is for?"
Pre-wedding wedding.
Well, actually, on that, Ryan and
We can't wait to celebrate with you.
Ryan and Shailene are having a wee joint rather than having like separate. They're doing a wee joint
Class.
night before, which will be good crack.
Yeah. Margaret,
Was I telling you that they have asked me to MC their wedding?
MC the wedding?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
See, I feel like that's like the natural progression from the stag organizer. I feel like that might be like
I've
graduated
master
up
of ceremonies.
to the master of ceremonies.
Jesus Christ. Margaret has been tasked with organising my brother Jesse's fiance Alison's hen do, and I have a fear, which I know she's prone to do, where I keep trying to just hint into Margaret. I'm like, you realise you need to plan things that other people are going to enjoy, and not just things that you want to do. She's like, I know, and I'm like, well, have you got plans? And she's like, a few things. Like, I'm like, what are you thinking? You know, and it's all just stuff that she's like, I know she just wants to do. You know, and I'm just like, listen, I get that it's tough to find time to do things, but making a trip around to the butchers that you've been meaning to do is not hen party material.
Calling up to see mum.
For 12 o'clock, we're going to go see my aunt. And we're going to drop up the paddling pool that I've been telling her I'd bring up for weeks. But I
might have to cut some of that out, depending on when this goes out, because
you do what you gotta do, man.
but I'll try and keep as much in. But
Aye.
this is no way of any reflection. My reluctance and hesitance and trepidation about my brother's stag.
It's not an emblem of my love for my brother.
It's not. It's not. I love him deeply, but I'm more of a masters of ceremonies type of guy.
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. What are your plans then for MCing?
Shaylee,
I know you're dying for me to ask you.
well, no. Well, this is the good. I said I absolutely like. They floated the idea. They actually said, "Oh, we've something we want to ask you." At Primavera, they said that to me at the start of the day. I was like, yes,
Have you heard of
it's happening.
Have you heard of the term thruple?
yeah, I was like, finally, yes, it's happening.
I get to fuck them.
I nearly shifted the both of them right there, and then I was like, I actually just said, whatever it is, yes, I'm down. I kind of figured it was going to be something, either like doing a stag do something or whatever. But then they told me later, and I knew. I said absolutely. I was like 100% absolutely, knowing full well that Shailene, when it comes to stuff like this, will send me an email with like a 5 fucking pager PDF spreadsheet and like the running order and the general ideas.
Yeah.
With each idea and an apology, going, if this all seems too much, it's grand. You don't have to do it. Just whatever you're comfortable with. And I'm like, absolutely, it's planned out to a T. This is lethal. You've just made your wedding about me. That's brilliant.
I think I immediately ruled myself out in Shailene's head of ever doing any work together ever again after how I carried on with that Christmas special that time. She's so organised.
I've cancelled a gig to be here.
She's so organised. And do you remember I sent over the thing? It's just like, yeah, I didn't read it. Give me the hits.
No, but it sounds their wedding sounds like
the
event the spectacle and event that you imagine from them too.
Yeah. I'm going to a wedding here. Fucking hell, man! I'm sorry. I'm so tired. I'm going to a wedding.
Was your idea to do a second one? All right.
That's all right. I still would have been tired regardless of what we were doing, so it might as well be productive. Yeah, I'm going to a wedding next week. I've been talking to a few people that are going, and they've all been talking about getting their suits fitted, and I'm like, is this black tie? Should I be more prepared for this? Which has entered my head now just once again here now today. So, but I haven't been to. I'm trying to think like the last time I was at a wedding as a guest. I go to so many for work, but like
I have the opposite problem.
I rarely. Yeah, you're just never off the fuckers.
Couldn't believe me luck when I found myself sat beside the father of the bride at that French wedding, banquet style. I was like, look at me.
I'm really coming up in the world.
This is my second chateau of the week.
I am top table material.
Did I tell you how so I wore I got a really nice suit for that wedding, which by the way, it went down on absolute.
I'm sure it did.
Hit. Everyone was very complimentary about it.
No doubt.
I accidentally matched with the bridesmaids. Now, I didn't intentionally do that, but it was a pleasant, just a pleasant
coincidence.
That's the word that I was struggling for.
Gotcha.
But
I could hear the starter engine in your brain.
Come on, Mike. You're stalling at the lights here. But Orla had been a witness at a wedding a couple of weeks ago.
What happened?
A friend of hers from work
I
was
seen
getting
the whole
married,
thing.
right? Him and his husband were getting married, and there was just a small city hall wedding. And I went down to meet them after and had dinner, and they were both wearing these class-looking suits, matching suits from Next, with a white T-shirt and nice white. Have I told you this already? No, a nice white nice white shoes, like kind of sneakery tennis shoes sort of job.
You've seen shoes.
Yeah, you know what shoes are. I don't need to explain shoes to you guys.
They've got the laces. Some are Velcro. There's a tick on something.
It's hilarious if you pretend it's a phone.
You can drink beer out of it if you maybe want to bet.
And I was like, that's a great look. That is a great look. And I went in the next day and just bought it off the rack for France.
Class.
And then I just reaped all the plaudits and rewards. I was like,
you're so stylish.
yeah, oh yeah. And I
Where'd
was
you
like,
come
put
up with
this
that?
together myself.
Where'd you come up with that? Is that an Orlis
The
horse?
two lads then on Instagram, and like a week after their wedding, seeing me living it up in France wearing their wedding suit.
Reaping the benefits of their fashion choices.
Yeah.
They're like, we fought to be here. And you've just walked in the next. And then like, I'll do that. Was I telling you that you know Matt Jones, don't you?
No.
You don't? Matt's great. But he sent me a Reddit thread the other day of from the Northern Ireland subreddit of people giving out about music in bars. Did I send you that?
I'd be intrigued.
It was so personally triggering and also completely fair in equal measures, man. It was a pretty hot thread too, like a lot of interaction with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Was there a general consensus?
Do you know what?
It's too loud, too samey.
Yeah, too loud, too samey. But so I mean, to be fair though, it also by most of the people's admission, so a lot of them had incredibly strong opinions, but also all conceded that they never go to that area anymore and haven't been in years. So you're dealing with that.
Yeah.
They're also
I would classify myself in that category.
yeah.
Like.
But also like some of them were like, when you're out and you're like, trying to be, you obviously know my feelings and all this sort of stuff, but like they were kind of going like, you're just trying to go for like a nice fucking drink with your friends, and then some fucking smoking area Ed Sheeran turns up or whatever, and you're like, okay, first of all, wasn't my idea. I'd love not to be here, and second of all, to be fair, like all those bars have the stated selling point of live music every day, so like you're like, well, you fucking knew where you were going, like don't go there, like, but yeah, but it was nice to see people of a similar opinion of like, it's nice to know that like, people also think that everyone's playing the same stuff and all that sort of stuff, because like I do feel like I'm sort of banging my head against the wall an awful lot with that sort of shit, but it was nice to see that at least 175 people agree. And that's all I've ever needed.
Is that the upvotes or the replies?
The replies in general. It was funny then, like seeing the
You gonna
odd.
bring up the spreadsheet?
It was funny seeing the odd music.
Why I am right. The data says so.
I've got cited sources. Username fucking down the ra. It was really, really in my favour here. He's actually a chemist. But yeah, no, it was it was refreshing in a kind of an odd way to see. We did get a message the other week as well into the Dirty Onion group chat saying like, just a heads up, guys, the system had a bit of a tune up or whatever, and I was like, oh, fucking class.
You guy in shaking things up?
And I got there, and literally all that they had done was the plate on the wall that has the XLR input was rusty as fuck and borderline dangerous. I know it's just not, and that's all they meant.
Cool.
I was like, well, baby steps. I was like, that's good. But yeah, I had a fucking. I need to have a word with somebody in there actually, because so they have a list of songs that are banned, which I think I've brought up before. And it's
can I? You probably have. Let me guess. What is Wagon Wheel one?
Yeah.
Country Roads.
Yes.
Gambler.
Yes. Yeah. It is. Yeah.
Wonderwall.
Sadly not.
No.
Galway Girls on it. 9 to 5 is on it.
What?
Which I've never heard anyone do.
Oh, we used to do it actually when I played bass with you.
You're the culprits. I've like it's not. It wouldn't. It wouldn't enter my
we
head.
used to do Jolene. That's what it was.
It wouldn't enter my head as I'm sick of hearing it all the time. It's like I never hear anyone do that. Living on a Prayer's on it, which I think is fair. Robbie Williams' Angels.
Yeah, it's good. Thank fuck.
Is on
Jesus, that song's just. Ugh.
And through it. Oh
yeah. God.
What else is on it? There's Don't Stop Believing's on it.
I have gone through the motions of that song.
Yeah, I mean it's a great song.
I think it's a great song. Great recording again. Now.
I think like anything, and probably like most things on the list, it's not that they're all bad songs. It's just, do you need to hear it that often? Like you know what I mean? But I had a, but it's annoying because like some people do adhere to the list, you know, and avoid shit. I do, and I feel like maybe we're in the minority of people who actually don't play the songs. Which
Start issuing fines.
Which then sort of like undercuts the whole thing, because like you have people coming up to you then being like, oh, well, I heard a boy in here doing it the other day, and you're like, well, what was his name and where can we fucking send him to jail, please?
He broke the rules.
But the other thing then as well is like, unless it's like up in the fucking bar somewhere, like they just think you're making it up. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's a fucking unwinnable situation. Like I was covering.
You should be like, if I play this, I get tasered. That bouncer over there is looking at us right now, and you just like look over the bouncer and he goes.
There is actually a song on that list directly I know from, as by request of one of the bouncers, which is the Proclaimers' 500 Miles.
Just like shit keeps going down when that like it gets chaos in here, and I don't want to have to throw anybody
the head
out.
doorman Marty in there, just, I have never met anybody with a more passionate disgust for a song in my life. He just, like, for years, every time you'd walk in, even though he knows you're never going to play it, he would just to be clear, he's like, if I fucking hear you play that, I'll fucking kill you. And you're like, that's reasonable. That's fair.
Consider it done.
Consider it done, sir. But no, like I had last night there, I was covering a slot for someone last night at like 10:30. Connor Malley was on before me. I nearly fucking, it was funny, I was in the bar changing my strings, but there was nobody else inside the bar. But the in-house system goes in there as well. And I know that he keeps his phone up in front of him while he's singing, like for like lyrics and stuff or whatever. So like I was just messaging him for a take the whole time.
You're such an arsehole.
I know. It was so funny. I just trying to make him laugh in the middle of songs, and like he would be singing and I would just hear him go and it was fucking great, like him losing the run of the words and all. It was brilliant. But and then like it was funny because I'm never normally there that early, and then like he played like all the stuff that I normally get tortured for, and I was just like, oh, I've immediately understood now why it's so annoying to go on after you, because you have lulled everybody into a false sense of security.
He's away home for the night.
He fucks off then, and they're like, well, is this crack going to continue? And you're like, no, it'll be different. But
the name's Jones, Nora Jones. Ever heard of her?
Are you sad? Would you like to be? Well, come away with me. Sorry, too much. But yeah, and then fucking, jeez, I just spent so much of the night. I actually had to say, like over the mic, I was like, come up with your requests. It's fine, but if I can't play it or don't want to play it, just go away. Like at one point, I was talking to a woman for 5 minutes. Because she couldn't just, she was doing this, and people do this all the time, man. And it reminds me of when I was a kid, and my brother Jesse used to like ask my mum for a wagon wheel, and she would be like, fuck off your dinners in half an hour or whatever. And then he used to come into me, who was just, you know, a 3-year younger child, looking up to his older brother, taking everything he says as gospel, and he would come in and swear to me that mum told me we can't have a wagon wheel if I ask. But she did say that if you ask, that she might say yes to us. And I'm like, well, I can't see the hole in the logic there. On in I go.
I'm clearly the favourite.
On in I go. And I'd be like, Mum, can we have a wagon? I mean, I just fucking told you to fuck. And you're like, coming in going like, well, I don't know what happened in the 5 minutes between you telling me that message and me going in there. But she has changed her mind.
And now you people coming up asking you for a wagon wheel.
Worse than that. Well, exactly. It's come full circle. That deserved more of a reaction than it did. In fairness, I was just too much of my own thoughts.
It's alright, it's
I'm
grand,
sorry.
man.
Look,
It's
we'll
cool.
roll with the punches.
It's cool.
But now the same thing is happening where people are.
I'm sorry, man. I need to take a moment. Actually, I really feel it.
But I can see people coming up for a request and then coming back to their group of people, obviously discussing that isn't it mad that he won't or can't play this song. And then you have people, you can see the conversation happening. They're going like, you sure? He's serious? I must go and have a word with him. And they come up and you get like fucking like the 4th and 5th person from the same group going, lad, would you play Galway Girl? And you're like, no. And they're like, but why? And you're like, I'm fucking losing time. I'm never getting these minutes back. Like, fucking hell. Just, like the last girl came up to me, and in fairness to her, I don't know if she actually was with that group, but she was near the group. And when I saw her come up, I put her in my head. I was like, well, you're from that table again. And she was like, and I goes, are you going to say Galway girl? And she was like, yeah. And I goes, can you just go back and just tell everyone near you that I am not playing Galway girl? And she was like, but why? And I was just like, I'm not actually even allowed. I'm not even allowed play. I was like, I don't want to play it, but I'm not allowed play it. It's on a list of, and they're like, well, we don't see it anywhere. It's fucking infuriating. It really, really, really boils my piss, man. You're just like, just fuck off and leave me alone. Why do we need to hear the same fucking 20 songs? These are the hits people come for, Mick. These are the hits.
That's it, I know. He's going on a victory lap.
Like, yes.
Do it.
And do you know what else is crap? The DUP. But fucking man. I feel like I was having like a really nice couple of weeks there where like it was all pretty painless and it was grand, and just the last couple of fucking days, man.
No, it's been incredibly comforting.
What do you mean?
Just feels like old times.
Oh man, it just like, it's mad. I'm trying to wrap my head around whether to, I don't know if I'm being like too big for my boots to think that I know I can't like change much around town. Like things will be what they will be and whatever, and like, and it's grand. Like obviously there's like a market for that, and there's people who go out and they want that thing that I hate. That's fine, but like I would just love to like, I don't know if I'm better just sort of keep my head down, which I feel like I already know the answer. The answer is probably yes. I probably should just keep my fucking head down and do my own thing, but I would just love to like, I don't know, for it
Change society.
I would love to change all of society single-handedly, and then more importantly, get the credit for it. I would love to be lauded and
Saviour.
praised and be like, look at this guy coming up from Cork and fixing us. What a guy. Israel, we've got the guy. Hold your horses. This guy's capable of anything.
He's inspired a city of people to have better taste.
Oh, this is the problem. Like when all I do is go to Tesco and gig, it's all I have to talk about.
Yeah.
I'm aware of how unendearing it is.
It's not.
I know it may seem like I don't want to hear it.
I was thoroughly enjoying hearing that. I don't know if my face was saying otherwise.
I
am very, very hungry now. I'll tell you that. That's become a distraction. I've realised all I've had to eat today is a bowl of Special K and that coffee.
Okay.
And a cup of tea.
Lot of caffeine. Not a lot of in the burn.
Yeah, I'm running lucid. Or not lucid.
So the answer to the question asked before the podcast is break.
Yeah. No, I was like, it's, listen, why stop in your pomp when you do it so well? Did you hear my stomach rumbling there?
I did actually. I thought it was a car passing. That was fucking unreal. Yeah, I hate. Do you know what it is, man? I hate being like part of an ecosystem that I feel like most of my friends who are also working in music, like.
Let me tell you, Nathan, it's not specific to music. Whatever industry you're working in, you will find that it is just kind of, you eat more shit, I think, than you always anticipate you're going to.
Yeah.
Regardless, you know.
It's not even, do you know what it is? It's not even, I understand that, like, you know, the people that are turning up, say, like last night, like there was a birthday in from Donegal, and it was Paul McGonagall from Donegal.
That's off my fault.
Wasn't it? Somebody came up for a birthday shout out, and they're like, could you say that Paul McGonagall from Donegal? And I was like, only because the Americans are going to have a hard time with it, I will say
Paul McGonagall from Donegal.
Yeah, it was fucking unreal. You couldn't make it up. But no, it's just like,
this is Lonnie Donegan for Paul McGonagall from Donegal.
but you're, yeah, I don't know. I feel like you know, with obviously like most of the people that we know and are friends with all work in music, and whatever, and like, I don't know, I just hate that like cover gigging is like such a like looked down upon thing. It doesn't need to be this way, and it would just be nice if like even like you as an example, I imagine would avoid, rightfully so, most of the areas that I would play
Yeah.
for exactly the stated reason of the music that is probably going to be played. Probably, right? Would that be fair to say?
No, it's absolutely.
But you know what I
100%
mean?
right,
And
yeah.
you are an avid music fan. Like I know you are. Like but there is like nowhere for someone like there's a few places I'm like, I know you would go to like Madden's or like Sunflower or
Yeah.
those sorts of spots, but like but aside from like paid in gigs,
Yeah.
there
I get what you're saying.
there is very few places that most people that I know who love music
Yeah.
and would come out if there was something good on. There's very few places that I know of that where those people would go, and it's just like,
Well, see, I think from my perspective, it seems to be just those bars that are the problem are the bars that are the busiest. You see, and to get the busy, they have to try and appeal to them as broad of
yeah,
and bland as possible, because you're also factoring in the massive influx of tourism into Belfast.
yeah.
So it's serving up something that will placate the tourist coin, really. So that's just it.
But I would have even thought that the tourist card surely would have been the Irish thing, but they're not getting that there. You know what I mean? They're not.
Yeah, well, I mean,
They're not getting the fiddly dee. Like, I don't know if you're flying all the way from America to hear fucking Oasis. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, and I know it's still, you know, live music or whatever, but like surely they're getting live music from wherever the fuck they're from too. Like there's nothing intrinsically remarkable in and of itself of just a fella singing and playing with guitar. Like that is everywhere. And so if they were hammering the tourist angle even, like it would make more sense, because like Henry's do it a bit, like they've got a good bit of trad on, and like I know that new bar that Bianca have opened, Second Fiddle, is kind of gearing itself as a trad bar, but
it doesn't matter. But the thing is, see, it doesn't matter about the actual music. I don't think if they have
Well, clearly it does,
somewhere like
yeah.
Henry's that looks the part, that's good enough. That's
Yeah,
good
yeah.
enough for the surface level passerby
yeah,
who's only on a flying visit. So that's all that really.
yeah. But I would say, but
It's just getting them in and keeping them
Yeah.
and trying to keep them in, and the way you try and keep people in is by offering them something that's not going to fucking.
I just think like all of the bars are fighting for the one same crowd, really, like, and it's just like. But then I think you look at somewhere like the Ulster Sports Club and you realize like there's a bunch of people that just were looking for somewhere cool to go, and all like going there now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's like it could just be like that in more places. I don't know. I would just like to maybe start trying to put a couple of. I would just love a couple of just good fucking bands playing about. Like, would just love to hear more full bands playing. I think actually even just as a start would be fucking class to hear. Like, I think it's so draining for your ears. Like, it just makes you tune out. You're just like, oh, there's a guy with a guitar, and it's just really dull. And like, there's a reason that music isn't fucking produced en masse that way. Like, none of the songs you listen to on the radio are just somebody on their own with a guitar for like a very good reason. It's, I mean, even like from a frequency point of view, like an acoustic guitar and a vocal are in a very narrow band of frequencies. Like, and you need and some people are really good. Like, I know I name checked them earlier again, but like Matt Jones, I think, is a great example of somebody who does the one piece thing really well by building out a sound with the loop pedal stuff, but in such a fucking good way, and it's so lovely to hear when you walk past the bar when he's playing, and you're like, oh my god, just to hear like a full sound, and it's not taking your head off, it's just tottering away in the background, whatever is necessary for wherever he is, but it's just lovely to hear like someone playing live music that people come in and enjoy then and go, oh, fucking, that was really refreshing. You hear people say it all the time. Like, even all the staff in the Dirty Onion love Matt Jones. Like, rightfully so, because they're just like, he fucking just makes their day better because they're like, everyone else sounds the fucking same. Like, that must be fucking exhausting. And obviously, obviously the staff are the last people that they're trying to please with the entertainment when they're booking it. But like, and obviously, the punters aren't there for 11-hour shifts every day. Well, some of them are, to be fair. But yeah, just like, I don't know, there's just so many fucking class musicians I know that never play anywhere. Like, and I don't even mean people that are like looking for cover gigs. I even mean just like, there's really great bands about the place that like outside of touring, and for good reason, would never want to play regularly in a bar somewhere. And like, it would just be class to hear more of that, because there's some fucking like imagine if Beauty Sleep had a fucking residency somewhere and they were just doing a load of really cool covers of tunes that they really loved. Like, it would be fucking brilliant. You know what I mean? But like, a bar probably wouldn't pay for it, and the success of it wouldn't be immediate enough for them to probably fucking give it a go. Like on the bar side of stuff, and it's just so short-sighted in a city that has so much talent in it to like, for all the really good gigs to really only happen in the Ulster Sports Club or
there was a thing years ago, Karaoke from Hell. Did I ever tell you about that?
Is this Herb's thing?
I think Herb might have been involved in it. I actually never went down to it, but I know Ryan and Shay did. And it's like, the concept of it was class. It was just like the band would learn, rock band would learn a load of class rock tunes for karaoke, or class tunes in a rock style, and you would do it.
Yeah.
They would have people up to do it.
That's class.
Fucking easy done, that. Well, not easy done, but you know what I mean. Like, easy.
Yeah.
But sell, it's an easy sell.
Exactly. Brilliant idea. And creative, and still a good use of local players about the place.
Yeah.
It's fun. Like, it
bring back Karaoke from Hell, whoever was responsible. I think it was Leaky and Herb.
I know Herb was involved.
Yeah.
I think you told me about it before, and you definitely said at the time Herb was involved, but yeah, like, I know, like, there are loads of great gigs happening that you can pay into. It's just and that's good too, like, of course, and like, that's not to say that people are uncatered for, but like, not a lot of people have a tenner a pop every time they want to go and see a fucking night out or whatever. It'd be just cool to have like
nicer things for nicer people. I hear you, Nathan.
Aye, just fucking, I would love to just like, I don't know, I feel like I'm sort of like trying to figure out a way to like wind down the amount of gigs I do, but I would love to
have more meaningful gigs as a result.
Yeah, or even like take a hit personally on some of them if it meant that we could pay for more people to be playing, and therefore, like, I would happily turn up to a gig on a fucking Tuesday night and be the only one not getting paid because I'm gigging 6 other nights in the week, if it meant that other people were getting paid and I would enjoy myself. You know what I mean? It's kind of, I mean, that's essentially what...
There's a union man in there somewhere.
I would love there to be a fully functioning like kind of union in Belfast, but any like for just I know there's the MU and all that sort of stuff, but like just a cover gigging musician fucking whatever union or whatever in Belfast. But like, even in that chat on Facebook, anyone who's ever made any suggestion of being the same in any way, like whether come regard to pay or taking breaks or whatever, you're just, probably like any union, you're immediately shot down with like, yeah, but if I charge the same as you, they'll call you. And they're like, my selling point is that I'm not as expensive as you. And you kind of go, not me personally, but like whoever they're having the chat with. And then you're going like, but it fucks it forever. You don't like, there's the same amount of gigs about, and they're calling the same amount of people. So it fucks us. I'm now just getting into basic union policy. But like,
Nathan discovers socialism.
But you know what I mean? It's like the idea of collective bargaining power is just seemingly lost on people. And I suppose when you just have a load of there is a load of people, I think, and this is not to like cast aspersions on those people either, because they've just as much right as anybody to be there. But like, you have plenty of people who literally are just doing it because they work in a bank and then they work as anywhere outside of music, and they like doing this as a sort of an extra thing for like a bit of beer money or whatever. But like, I just think it sort of, I don't know, the threshold, like the barrier to entry to get a gig in town is so low. And that's like, I wish there was a better way to say that, but I can't think of one. And it literally is just like, do you own a guitar and are you able to sing the correct songs? And like, it literally, like, do you know the chords to these 20 songs? Nobody like checks if you can set things up correctly even. Like, it's literally just like, come on in. Most places have a PA. It blows me away actually the amount of places that are constantly getting their equipment fixed, but they never figure out the reason why shit's breaking all the time, and it's because nobody knows how to use the equipment properly. So people are just plugging in blown speakers all the time.
Yeah.
And then they're either not fixing them, so you're playing through a blown PA, or they are constantly fixing them and then not ever putting two and two together as to why it's happening in the first place. But like, yeah, and you're just, it's just mad. I just think like if you're gonna be going in and getting like 100 or 150 quid for fucking 2 hours work, like there should be more of a, just not a test. I don't know, so a license, something to be like, can you do this before we give you loads of money? Like, if you're going to pay me what you pay your glass collector in a week for 2 hours work, then I should really be able to demonstrate before I do anything in there that I know what I'm doing. And that's not even on a talent level. That's literally just a like
tech level.
Even a tech level. Just like, do you know how to do this? You wouldn't have a fucking like. You wouldn't have an electrician come in and he'd be like, do you know how to do this? So, you know what I mean? And they get paid the same. I don't know why we should be treated any different. Rant over. Have you any crack?
No, it was good. Here, that was good. Wait, stop fucking
I just
getting
feel,
in your own head. You're allowed to talk. You know?
Am I though? I don't know. I guess the reason I'm cagey about it is because I floated it to a few people and they just thought I was an asshole for even thinking about it. Like, and I was just like,
see, this is, I think what you need to work on is how you pitch your ideas, because you hit on some very a very point well made there was you saying like, if you're going to pay me the same you pay the glass collector makes in a week for 2 hours work, then the onus is on me to show some responsibility for doing a good job because of the pay disparity there.
Mm-hmm.
That's I think that puts your point across really well.
Yeah.
But
I shouldn't use my finger like this and call them a cunt.
And you shouldn't say the barrier to entry for gigging in town is so low. But no, but I'm only joking. Yeah. That's like that. But you're right that there is no easy way to say it. But
yeah, I mean,
I think you just got to work on how you fucking approach it, man. Because you do talk sense. But
I think I can't think of.
We've talked about this before, and you've said it that you can come across as like the problem solver. You know. Well, why don't you just do it like this? You know, and that can, even if the advice and the reasoning and the logic is sound, that can just, I don't know, maybe it's human instinct that it can rub some people up the wrong way. But what you're saying is pretty like...
I just think everyone would benefit. Like, my thing is that to learn even the stuff that I'm talking about is so easily done. Like, it really is. It wouldn't cost anybody any money to learn how to do it. It needn't. I'm sure some bar or somebody somewhere will find a role for someone and make it a fucking course or something, maybe in the worst version of it or whatever the fuck. But like, literally,
you should be on next year's Generator NI showcase how to set up properly for a gig and do a whole fucking.
But that would be far too practical to be included in a networking conference like that, Mick. Are we not too busy talking about how to fucking sell yourself in fucking Uzbekistan or something? how to break the Middle East? They're doing it already. Sorry. I'd love to. I would do it 100%. I just don't think anybody would come. They'd probably be like, "We all know how to do that already," and you'd be like, "All right then." It's a YouTube video. I would happily record and make a very simple.
Why don't you just start doing that? Actually, that's something that I could see. Why people do that all the time on social media channels. They'll like do instructional videos. It's something you're passionate about and something that you think would be beneficial for people. It's the same way like when we were doing the fucking decor. Orla was like watching how-to videos of people who just do that. So why not? It's another fucking.
Yeah, I wouldn't be against it. I probably wouldn't share them on my own things, but I would happily share them in the groups and all that sort of stuff.
Why not share it? Why not? Like, why not just share it? Why not make them and share them?
I just feel like for the people that I'm friends with they'd be like, why are you sharing a video of like how to set up a desk? You know what I mean? They'd be like,
doesn't matter what your mates think.
Aye, well.
And if they're if your intention is pure as well, I think. If it's for the benefit of others, then it doesn't really matter what.
I'm definitely gonna think of something like that because I would love to. Even I think we can deal with the song selection and the quality of people another day, but it would be
the quality of. All right, sorry.
But you know, as in the quality of the performances,
Yeah,
another day.
just the general populace.
Yeah, just the
that's
general-
another podcast entirely.
But I think you know, that sort of stuff is subjective. And look, while somebody who's getting booked in one place I might think is terrible, if the person booking the music genuinely thinks they're great, that's not for me to say. You know what I mean? Like, that's their decision. But it would be great to walk past a bar and, like, you know, they have speakers like playing outside and like it doesn't sound like garbled, abrasive, like just per engineering. You know what I mean? Like people who just don't know what they're doing setting up the gear. Because my thing is, like, it just sort of brings the whole thing down for everybody, because regardless of how good I am or how good Matt Jones is or countless other people that I think are really good, and there are loads of people around that I think do really, really good stuff and really creative stuff and really interesting things that if I walked into a bar, I'd be fucking happy to sit and watch them do what they do. But I guess what I'm just trying to, like, work against is, like, this thing of, like, regardless of what I might be able to achieve in the first 3 songs of maybe changing somebody's mind of what they think I'm going to be, I still can't change their reaction to me turning up in the first place. And most people kind of seem to brace themselves for impact almost, you know. You can see the people who've ordered food and it's just arrived, they're like, I don't know if I can get this down me in 5 minutes, but I am going to try. You know what I mean?
Jesus, I remember one time playing up in the Lansdowne, and it was like a 3-piece, and there was like a table right at the front of the stage. And
I remember,
like,
right in front. Yeah.
with like this couple, I would say they'd been
They're
in their
always
late
ancient.
50s. No, they were in their late 50s, just out for like a Sunday roast or whatever,
Yeah.
and their food had just come. Just like his head is just like a foot away from my bass amp, and it's just like, all right, here's Superstition. Bum, 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 bum. Or no, it was fucking all this load of fucking Clapton shite, so it's just a load of like 12-bar blues.
Yeah,
nonsense,
yeah.
You know?
I remember doing one in there on a Sunday, but it must have been the same sort of vibe. And they were just open. The manager came up to me and was like, could you liven her up a bit? And there was a couple in front of us just
Yeah. It's
eating
like,
their dinner, and I was like,
excuse me, your bass playing is curdling my gravy.
it's splitting my hollandaise. But yeah, I would just love to get it at least to a point where, like, people weren't going like, just, you know, that's sort of like, or you can see people's backs go up, you know, they're just like, I was having a lovely time, and then in walks this guy, cheek of him turning up to his place of work when it wasn't run by me. Like, just like I had an amazing chat with a woman. One of those people that wouldn't stop asking for a Galway girl was a woman from Boston who clearly, I think, maybe was from Ireland but had lived there. You could tell by her accent, like, she probably was from Ireland. But and she was like, "Would you play Galway girl?" I was like, "Nah," and why? And I explained the list and everything, and she was saying, "Well, what about, like?" Because basically, I was saying, she was like, "What is the reason for that?" And I said, "Well, listen, they have music on 7 nights a week, at least." So 7 nights a week, they have at least 2 people on a day. And then on the weekends, they have 3 or 4 a day, depending on the day. And I was like, you know, I'm turning up and I don't know what the person before me has played or what the person after me is going to play, because I don't hear I'm not there for their set. I was like, which means that if you're working an 11-hour shift in this bar, you could reasonably expect, if unfettered or unmanaged, you could hear Galway Girl 4 times in a day. And then if you have 6 shifts in a week, that means you're hearing it, like, 6 by 4, 24 times in a week. I was like, that's an awful lot to deal with. I was like, even if it's your favorite, like, Don't Stop Believing's a good example of that. It's not a bad song. It's just like, nothing is good when it's the only thing you hear. And, like, I was like, and it's not really fair to them. And then she said, well, you know, why is it about what the staff want? She was like, you know, we're the customers, and if we're asking for a Galway girl, like, we should be able to hear Galway girl. And I was just like, has it entered your head that maybe I just don't want to do it? Does it matter that I don't want to do it? And she was like, I don't think it does. And I was like, well, that's no way to get me to play it. Like, it's just an unwinnable, I don't know. I guess my hope, honestly, Jen, like, to be clear, is that if the quality goes up, the quality of punters might go up.
Yeah.
And then people that I like mightn't walk past the bars I'm playing in and go, like regardless of even knowing who's inside, and just go like, oh well, I would never go in there on a Thursday or a Friday because that is the opposite of what I want. Because it's such a weird disparity in my head that people that I know that love music so much completely rightly and fairly avoid most live music in town like the plague, and it's just it doesn't need to be that way. I'm going over myself now, I think, but I think
you've
sewn
made
it
your
up.
point.
I've
It's
sewn
good.
it up.
Yeah, man cares hard and a lot.
Hard.
In submission,
Hard on a lot. But yeah, I'm gonna figure that out.
I'm meeting a producer tomorrow to discuss pitch some new ideas and stuff. It's a guy I worked with on a few things.
Very nice.
And he was like, send me over whatever you have, whatever you've been working on, or if there's anything just,
Excuse me.
that, did you have that you've forgotten about? So I just went hoking through some old stuff, and I found an entire pilot script that I just completely forgotten I'd written.
Really?
Yeah, completely. Me and
How long was it?
it's like 37 pages.
You forgot entirely about it?
Forgot
Wow.
entirely about it.
That's unreal.
Like a second draft. It was
How old was it?
2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. I think it was just. It must have been. It started lockdown. Right? It was me and Bridget Leahy, who was in the pilot
Right.
that was filmed. It was.
I
a thing
remember you
that
saying you were doing something
Yeah,
like that,
we wrote together, but I forgot how far we got with it because then we decided we were like maybe this idea would work better, and we tried figuring it out as a feature length screenplay and stuff, and we worked it to death until it just.
Was that the
ran out
one
of
that had
steam.
the local angle?
Yeah.
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 That was a great
it was
pitch.
good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring it up again tomorrow, but I found this version of it and I was like, fucking hell, 37 pages. I read it. It was great because I'd completely forgotten about it. It was like reading.
Yeah.
So I was pissing myself laughing. I was like, it's brilliant.
This writer's fantastic.
Yeah, who is this guy? He's got something. His writing is so snappy. It's right up my street. Oh, it was me. But it was nice. It was nice because the amount of dodge you feel like you have to go through. It was nice. I did send.
And so that would be feature length then, you think?
No,
Or-
that one was that. I mean, that's flabby for a sitcom script.
Right.
37 pages. Need to be like,
Really?
30 at the max. I think is
Really?
what you're aiming for.
Very good.
But and then Parish didn't get picked up.
Yeah, you were saying, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a dose. Did they give you any notes, or do they come back with feedback, or?
Kinda, yeah. It's nothing really much nothing worth reporting on muchly.
I'm really glad you took the time to nail that. Would have been terrible if that came out in some weird word soup.
I did pause to rearrange them in my head, and that's what it came out with.
When you say not worth reporting on, you mean
It was just
it more- is
the
it more-
overall. I think note back was that more context to what the kind of premise was needed. Otherwise, it felt a little bit abstract and unrelatable to their demographic.
50-year-old white lads in vans?
Middle class Englishmen on Radio 4.
Rats. My
Yeah,
perfect target audience.
my kryptonite, it seems. For several facets of my life.
I guess you kind of get that back, and disappointing that it is, you kind of go, you take that and you kind of go, well, is it the worst thing in the world that I'm not the funniest guy in the world to people who are obsessed with fascio?
Yeah, I don't think it's. I think that's not even the audience. I don't think I think Radio 4 is a little bit more.
Oh, right enough, Radio 4.
Middle Englandy, a bit middle class, middle Englandy. So it was always going to, especially, look, all my commissioning and writing experiences so far have had a similar theme where the person who is involved at the start of the project at the top is usually not there by the end of the project, and someone else has come in.
Yeah.
And it's the balance and has been completely disrupted, and your chances, had they might have been quite good, are now very slim for reasons beyond your control. It's just part of the game.
Yeah. Well, so much of any of those sort of things, I think the thing always going in your favor always is that the person who may be on in the company side, that is your go-between, really helps when they're a fan of something that you're doing. And they also feel like a sense of ownership if they're the person who was the first sort of point of contact. And I think Like, I mean, that's what happened with my record deal that time. Was like some guy just, roles changed, and he was like, "Who's this?" Right, bye bye.
Yeah,
Like he
yeah.
had no emotional
Yeah.
connection to it, so it does happen quite regularly enough.
Yeah.
doesn't it? And it is sad because you're like, "Well, this person loved it."
I know. I've just been like,
And-
I kind of the belief now. I'm like, if I can kind of eke out a living, getting scripts commissioned and never made, I'll be happy enough. I'll just keep doing it. I'll keep getting better at writing, and I'll just,
Something will land eventually,
yeah.
man.
Who gives a fuck? Whatever.
Absolutely.
Sure, what odds?
I mean, how old was Dan Harmon when Monster House came out?
Yeah, but I don't want to follow his trajectory anyway.
He's doing really well. What are you talking about? But no, you're right, man. Just fucking take it and learn. Like, was there any notes that came back that you thought were useful or?
No, I can stand by every fucking second of that. I think we delivered.
I don't think there could have been any more context put into any of those without it being battering you over the head.
Well, no, I think what the problem would have been that we would have had to forsake some of the ideas to kind of set it up at the start and kind of top and tail it essentially with the way, just the kind of way Mighty Bush does a Welcome on a Journey Through Time and Space. That's all they kind of do.
Yeah.
Top and tail it. So my thought was like, if that's all it really was missing, I feel like you could have.
That could have been an episode 2.
No, you could have just, a quick re-edit, but sure.
Yeah.
I don't try and dwell on it too much.
Is there a way to?
There's so
just
much stuff of
pitch
it.
that again?
Oh,
somewhere?
there
Yeah.
will. It's not the end of it, like for
Yeah.
sure. But it's just part of the process.
Aye.
Sure,
Yeah.
the fuck, we didn't even know. We didn't intend for it to ever be heard. Me and Philly just started doing it in lockdown to keep ourselves busy.
Yeah. Aye, well, fucking nothing lost really.
All the way to Radio 4, baby.
You have half an hour to get out. Aye, man, nothing ventured, nothing gained, really. Isn't it? Like, it's one of those things. It's good to probably have the contact anyway.
I really want to do something with those skills as well that I started doing on the podcast that kind of ended up seeping into Parish Burner, when we were doing the story prompts and stuff. I really enjoyed doing that. So
do you want to do them again?
I do. I really do.
Yeah.
I don't know why we stopped.
I think you just didn't have time anymore because you were writing.
Oh yeah, and I was working actually. Sure,
other
that's
stuff as
right.
well, yeah.
I have time now. I think. Famous
Yeah.
last words. Let's do a story prompt. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah,
next time.
I think that. Do you know what? It was a 2-part problem. The other part of the problem was that so many of the prompts were terrible.
Oh yeah.
It was just really hard to find good. To be honest, it might be nearly better for me to just try and come up with them, which might be not necessarily better prompts, but at least might mean that there's more to pick from that aren't about fucking, some fucking He-Man fucking.
Yeah. It's like, stop watching Marvel, you Reddit nerds.
It's just all like, you're a superhero.
Yeah.
You're
You wake up one day with the power of fucking.
of instant directions.
You know exactly where you're going in life. But you're in prison.
The worst place to have an instant erection.
Oh, I thought you said direction. I thought you said instant directions. I was like, the power of just knowing where to, knowing how to get places. You would not want instant directions in prison, so I hear.
No, not at all.
But that's, what is this, the mid-90s? We're not
Aye.
going to do fucking.
Prison banter.
Yeah.
Neither of us have been. Aye, man, no. I mean, it would be good to get back into those. I always really enjoyed them too. I still maintain that Merlin DJ thing was fucking one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life. It was very funny.
I'm not too fussed about it. I've got another script writing thing that I'm having to work on at the moment, so it eases the pain.
It's all coming up muck.
Yeah, it was due last Friday.
Going well.
Loosely due.
Yeah.
It was at least we have a very.
Dear Mick, I know it's sunny today, but if you get a chance to read this email, we really need that pilot.
It's Edinburgh Fringe is on, so things just kind of grind to a halt.
Would you ever do a one-man show in the Fringe?
I would definitely do a one-man show if I
Yeah.
could figure out a good show. I would definitely like to try
I
my
mean, we
hand
would
at
all
it.
do a good show if we could do it.
Yeah. No, but I would like to try my hand at it. Something just that's not just a gig.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you should.
Maybe I will.
Well, maybe I will.
Yeah.
Good.
Watch this space.
Today's Office.
What?
Watch This Space and Today's Office are two Facebook things that happen all the time So, there's the announcement before the announcement, which is watch this space.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah,
And then-
today's office is
and
a
then
real.
there's the braggadocious, I'm in a class place,
Yeah,
but I'm just,
yeah.
it's really by the by today's office.
Like my job is really cool.
Yeah,
that
I
sort
guess
of
I'm just
thing.
going to spend some time here today,
Yeah.
not bad for a Saturday.
Yeah,
Banter.
I'm on a yacht.
What? I get it. That's us.
Yeah, fuck it.
That's us. I think we'll just
We'll taper out there.
just before it really loses the run of itself. I think we got away with another potentially usable episode.
Yeah.
It's just-
Seat of the pants stuff there.
yeah,
for
yeah.
a while.
Really, I mean, it was touch and go for a while.